But first at 5:30 tonight, an abandoned home is coming down after becoming the scene of another house fire.
It's a story we told you about as it was breaking overnight. The triple-decker went up in flames for the third time early this morning. Now, fire officials are making sure this is the last time they respond to a fire at this home.
Eyewitness News reporter Steve Nielsen is live in the newsroom now with our top local story at 5:30.
Well, the abandoned home already had all of its utilities shut off after its second case of arson back in July. That's why fire officials believe this was yet another case of arson, and they're tearing the home down to make sure there isn't a fourth. Eyewitness News cameras roll as the remains of a Foundry Street building smolder away. Just moments before we arrived at the 3 a.m. Central Falls fire, eyewitnesses captured the intensity of the flames. Chief Robert Bradley says this is likely a case of arson, the third one at this building in the last 6 months.
And it's just been getting progressively worse. And this was the worst out of the three.
We captured the second fire in July. And today I returned to the scene as firefighters continued to put out hot spots. 10 hours later, the roof, third and second floor collapsed onto the first. When firefighters first arrived on scene, they didn't even attempt to put out the flames. It was a lost cause. Instead, they saved the neighboring buildings. None of the firefighters were injured, but scenes like this are very dangerous.
A firefighter's life is extremely sacred. We all have families. We all have kids to go home to. It's not a game at this point. This is something that we need to really address and hopefully figure out who did it and get it taken care of as quickly as possible.
I asked the chief why the building wasn't just torn down after the second fire. He told me old homes like this often have asbestos inside and EPA regulations are tough. But this time, there's no other option. It's being torn down.
We have to sift through it section by section just to make sure that there's nobody in there. And then the plan is to hopefully get this thing out of here as quickly as possible so we don't have another reoccurrence.
Now, the chief said this is just likely a case of arson. He can't be more specific than that because the building's so unstable, he wasn't able to send a team in to investigate it. Now, if you have any information at all, please get in contact with the fire marshal's office. There is a $5,000 reward. Live in the newsroom, Steve Nielsen, Eyewitness News.